Caitlin Clark had a BYU idol growing up. Here's who the WNBA star watched as a kid. Caitlin Clark is one of the most famous athletes in the world right now. But before Clark set records on the court, she was watching BYU hoops in her living room. The WNBA star, known for her deep range and step-back threes, learned part of her game from a cougar. And she kept a memento of her fandom with her. "I always had a step-back three. It is kind of hard to put my finger on where I learned it. I grew up a basketball junkie." Even if you are not intentionally mimicking, you are just absorbing what you are consuming. "I always watched Steph Curry, or even Jimmer, who I love," Clark said on WNBA legend Sue Bird's Bird's Eye View podcast. Jimmer Fredette led BYU to the Sweet 16 and won National Player of the Year in 2011. During that time, he became a national sensation similar to Clark for a 2-year period as he sold out areas with his mix of deep threes and flair. It became known as Jimmermania as people made songs and shirts for the BYU star. Clark was among those participating. "I told Jimmer this when we were doing the ESPN show, Sue's Places. He was one of my favorite players growing up. There was the famous song Teach Me How to Jimmer, and I had the shirt that said, 'Teach me how to Jimmer.' If you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube," Clark said. It is a Teach Me How to Dougie remix. When it was suggested Clark get her shirt signed by Fredette, she winced with regret. "I know. I don't think I have the shirt anymore," she laughed. The memories and the step-back threes will have to suffice. The big thing: BYU is entering week 3 of fall camp, and the quarterback competition needs to wind down. For 2 weeks, offensive coordinator Aaron Roderick doled out first-team reps to all 3 quarterbacks. But after a scrimmage on Saturday, he knows the time is up. "There is going to be a point pretty soon, I'm not ready to say exactly when, that we are going to have to establish a pecking order," Roderick said. "If we keep going the way we are going forever, then nobody will be ready to play that first game." BYU had around 100 live snaps on Saturday, and first-team reps were divided equally last week, Roderick said. Roderick acknowledged the overall offense was sloppy in the first outing. There were pre-snap penalties and operational miscues. "That isn't all on the quarterback, but it needs to be sorted out." One positive was that none of Maxie Hillstead, Bear Bockmeyer nor Trayson Bourget threw an interception. "Taking care of the ball will be imperative to winning the job. I don't recall anybody putting the ball in jeopardy today," Roderick said. "Part of it was we had some tough yardage situations today. You get a penalty, it sets you back. Play smart and give yourself a chance to punt and flip the field."